What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys a video. Today we're doing Why Shin Arrived Early, Part 5. In the last part, we covered the events of the 25th tournament to where Resurrection F would have originally happened. Goku had been training with Whis on Beerus' planet, and after Piccolo dismantled the Frieza Force, he trained on Yardrat. He split Majin Buu into 3 and killed the remnants, which is where we left off. South Kaioshin and Dai Kaioshin were shocked at the mere Namekian strength. They then see Shin, who they previously knew as East Kaioshin, now as the Supreme Kai. And is that a Kai before any of them were born? They have briefed on what's been happening since they were absorbed and are grateful towards both Goku and Piccolo for saving them. It doesn't take long for Dai Kaioshin to put an agenda that he's been wanting to do since before he was absorbed, reestablishing the Kai Hierarchy. Since Shin has become the Supreme Kai in his absence, he can keep the title, and the former Dai Kaioshin will take his position at the East Kai. South will take up his position again, and both Kibito and Elder Kai will take the West and North Kais respectively. Piccolo will then take up Kibito's position as Shin's assistant. Piccolo brings up that last time they were extremely impassive in the universe. If they're going to do that again, it's pointless to recreate a flawed hierarchy in the Kaioshins. The Kais begin to contemplate this, and ultimately the decision is up to Shin, who would agree to this. Over time, the Kaioshins begin to fix up the universe, playing an active role in helping the universe. Piccolo would also be trained to become a Kai, spending less time at Grand Kai's planet training there. While Dai Kaioshin helps Piccolo learn techniques, South Kaioshin trains with Piccolo for strength. The two would become training partners and eventually become around even. On Beerus' planet, Goku would be training with Whis when Champa and Vados arrive. Like in canon, Beerus slaps Champa in a food contest and they come up with a 5v5. Goku's left to find 3 participants when Monaka so chosen as the last one, and immediately Goku sets off. Naturally, he chooses Piccolo since he's the second strongest out of all of them. Piccolo would agree to the tournament as removing the Earth from Universe 7 would drastically lower the ranking the universe has. As a Kai in training, that wouldn't be good. With 2 more choices, the duo begin to weigh their options and choose who will be good. They decide on both Ten Shinhan and Krillin, who would both decide to come along since it would be good fun. Ten Shinhan even has the foundation built for his dojo, which will be fun. They'd all enter the tournament with the order being Krillin, Ten Shinhan, Goku, Piccolo, and finally Monaka. After the written test, the first fight would be Krillin vs Botamo. At first, Krillin would be somewhat calm, remembering all the good times he had at the tournaments growing up. He throws a punch at Botamo, but learns quickly that it proves ineffective. As he begins to evade Botamo's attacks, he begins to think of another strategy. When thinking of an idea, he leaps towards the edge of the arena and begins to power up. Botamo comes rushing at Krillin, throwing a hard punch at him, but the Bull Dwarf enters the mystic state. He then throws Botamo over his shoulder and rings him out. Next up in the ring is Frost. Since no one except Piccolo knew about Frieza, no one makes the connection of Frost being like Frieza. This further lowers everyone's suspicions on Frost, so they all believe him to be good. Mystic Krillin would scale above first form Frost, if only barely, which is quite detrimental in the fight. Krillin is never usually stronger than someone, so his battle tactics will further become useful. When battling against Frost, Krillin throws every tactic in the books at him. Kienzon barrages that are remote controlled, leading to a strategic Kaioken and Kamehameha, destroying the arena to try and make Frost lift up. Stuff like that. Frost will be forced into his assault form to keep up, which leads to a slaughter. Krillin is managing to hang in there, so Frost decides to completely dominate and enters his final form. He then tail slaps Krillin out of the arena. Next up is Ten Shinhan. Since he knows how strong Frost is and has been studying him fighting, the Triclops wastes no time and enters his ultimate form. When the fight begins, Ten Shinhan will be using his martial art prowess and begins to keep up with Frost, even though Frost overpowers him in strength. Using the 4 Witches technique, Ten Shinhan will be able to hold Frost in place and use his other 2 hands to hit him with a point-blank Taioken. When Frost's eyes come to, he sees a bunch of Ten Shinhan circling him. The multi-form does split his power significantly, but when they're all charging up Kiko Hose, that becomes insignificant. In a crazed frenzy, Frost begins firing crazy finger beams at either side to take them down. While it hits a few, the others all learn from this and rush towards Frost. Frost would dive at them and one by one knocks them out, which doesn't really worry them. So long as one lasts, they win. Ten Shinhan leaps into the air as all the other clones dissipate. This makes Frost panic as he leaps up and uses his needle, wringing Ten Shinhan out. With his 3 eyes, Ten Shinhan notices the needle and immediately tells the referee, who would then disqualify Frost for cheating. Ten Shinhan is then reinstated, though Krillin isn't, as he lost fairly. Next up is Megeta against Ten Shinhan. Of how durable Megeta is, Ten Shinhan will be placed at a significant disadvantage. Every blast and every blow proved to be futile against him. And as we see in the Super manga, Ten Shinhan isn't as good as insults in Super. It's dumb, but I don't make the rules. so Tenshinhan is unfortunately rung out of the arena. Now Goku enters the arena against the Metal Man. When the fight begins, Goku begins to warm up by running around the arena like he does with Botamo. It also serves to cool him down, which is quite useful. It also makes Vegeta dizzy, so when Goku is ready to battle, he'd be at a significant advantage. Seeing how hard Vegeta's body is, as well as how hot, Goku gets an idea. He places a hand on him and quickly uses Kai to teleport to the edge of the arena. It makes Vegeta fall out of the arena since Goku positioned it as such. It might be a bit anticlimactic, but that's always how the first fight goes with Goku. Next up is Kaba. He'd be excited to fight a fellow Saiyan, so Goku decides to hold back at the start. As they fight, Goku and Kaba both go to their max, making Goku's blood begin to bubble. He wants this to go further, and so he asks Kaba if he can go any further. He says no, confused at what he means. Goku then looks into the stands and asks Goten how he goes with that Super Saiyan thingy, and so Goten tries his best to explain. He says that it's kinda like a tingly feeling in his back. Both Goku and Kaba take this advice, and in unison enter Super Saiyan. Goku and Kaba begin battle in Super Saiyan, where they both see the potential in the form. While Kaba wants to further this power, Goku sees it's all pointless to pursue it. The stamina issue as well as the minimalistic power boost doesn't seem very interesting. So Goku enters his ultimate form and rings Kaba out, telling him he needs to master that power and make it his own. So Goku becomes Kaba's teacher in this timeline instead of Vegeta for obvious reasons. Finally comes the main event, Hit against Goku. Since Goku has no knowledge in how the time skip works, he needs to feel out his opponent and get a better feel for his power. It means that Hit hurts Goku much more before he realizes that he needs to go all out. He enters Super Saiyan God and begins to fight that way, however there's a big issue with that. Since Mystic is a much harder form for Goku to combine with God, he can't access the Mystic Blue state, and so he begins to lose to Hit. He tells Hit that neither can truly access their true power in this current situation, so they should fight again when they have, and with that, he steps out of the arena. As a final stand, Piccolo enters the arena. Since he knows Monarca is a mere ruse for Goku, Piccolo is very serious during the battle. He immediately enters the ultimate form, telling Hit that while Goku gave him the win, Piccolo won't be as kind. The moment the fight starts, Piccolo immediately goes ultimate and begins preparing strategies in advance. With the numerous techniques under his belt from training on Grand Kai's planet as well as the Daikai Shin, this fight would definitely be interesting to watch, as well as somewhat even. I think Ultimate Piccolo would scale to around God Goku, but with the use of his techniques and the mindset that loss isn't an option, he'd be doing much better than Goku. It means Hit has to adapt his time skip, but Piccolo uses Pycon's Hyper Tornado, making it a lot harder for Hit to hurt him. I'd say that Piccolo ends up tackling Hit out of the arena with this attack, leading to a double knockout. And with Monarca being the sole fighter, it means Universe 7 wins, and the finale plays out like normal. Not long after this, Zamasu would see Piccolo and Hit's fight, and wouldn't be as bothered by the win. After all, Piccolo is training to be a Kai, and was raised by the Kais at birth, so it only makes sense that he'd win. He'd mention this to Gowasu, who would remark that Namekian really has been making his universe better. That's when Gowasu gets an idea. Using the Kai, Gowasu and Zamasu appear in Universe 7's Supreme Kai planet, where Shin and Piccolo greet them. They cut right to the chase, with Gowasu asking Piccolo to take Zamasu under his wing, at least for a little while. Teach him how to truly do good as a Kai, and set him on a good course. Naturally, Piccolo agrees, and so Zamasu is left in Piccolo's care. Piccolo tells Zamasu that the Supreme Kai's logic was flawed, so he changed them. Now they go to planets and fix them. This makes Zamasu glad, saying that he wanted to do a similar idea. So Piccolo takes them to several planets and demonstrates how to do it well. They stop wars in a peaceful way, fix up desolate planets, or planets doomed to fail, and even watch the creation of planets. Zamasu will return to Universe 10, now on the right path, where he begins to do these things in his own universe. Although Gowasu was at first against it, he does come around, and ultimately, both Universe 7 and Universe 10 do benefit from this. And that's all of him. If you like and subscribe and comment below what's happened in the finale, or part 6. As you can see, we have a lot of build up for the Tournament of Power. There was no Goku Black arc, there was barely a Universe 6 arc, and the Universe 7 might not even be in the Tournament of Power. So yeah, bye!